Good evening. This is our second evening of retreat. It's the conclusion of our first full day. And the session that I'm going to do this evening is a yin session for kidneys and urinary bladder. So it's a winter yin session. We're going to start by sitting quietly, so you can come back to that place that we were at lunchtime when we done our meditation. And we can just start to turn inwards here. So we lengthen the spine. We close our eyes. And we just begin to relax the body, the mind, exhaling slowly. So letting go of any pressure as you exhale. And just allowing yourself to drop into your breath's rhythm. And we just allow the mind to rest here, giving the breath our full attention. And we notice again when the mind wanders, and we return back to the balance of the breath. We try, once again, not to react to our distractibility with frustration or impatience. We just gently bring our attention back to our breathing. So yin activity is slow, steady, often stationary. The awareness is of softness and surrender. In contrast, yang energy is activity, it's mobile, it requires strength and appropriate effort. So just like our practice this morning, so a more yang practice, and tomorrow morning also. But for now, the attention is quiet and calm. Attitude of attentiveness and kindness. You can lengthen your inhale. And lengthen your exhale. We'll take another 2 or 3 breaths here. when you're ready, when you feel calm and centered, you bring your hands together in front of your heart. Your intention is for kindness, compassion, and patience. And you can connect that intention in your head and also in your heart. When you feel ready, you can release into a butterfly pose. I'm going to turn on my mat. You might already be the other way on your mat. You can use some padding underneath your feet if you feel that that will make the posture more comfortable. Remember that we stay in yin poses for a longer duration, so you need to be sure that you're not striving, that you're not going to be uncomfortable, you're not going to have distraction arising from discomfort in your body. So make sure that you're as comfortable as you can be. Soles of your feet together, knees drop out to the side, and when you feel ready, you just start to ease your way forward. So this is a great kidney bladder posture. Just opening your inner leg lines, allowing you to release tension through your back, right into the back of your neck, right into the base of your skull. You can let the head hang. Now, if you need support to make this posture less intense, feel free to take the support. We talked about this last night, how when we're supported, when we're held and the posture is really comfortable, we're more likely to be able to relax into that posture. So support if you need to. Otherwise, you're just allowing the weight of your head to hang, your torso to release over your legs. And you feel the breath opening into your back ribs. You might lift and lower your head a couple of times. Just looking for more let go in the back of your neck and around the base of your skull. And as you let your head hang, maybe you feel the weight of the head just helping you to traction out and release your back. We should feel buoyant as we inhale, so there's some lift with the expansion of the inhale, and there's some softening and release as we exhale. And then you bring your attention back to your breathing. So each posture here is like a retreat inside. It's like a mini meditation. Listen to your inhale. And listen to your exhale. And really feel the movement of breath through your posture. So feel every sensation of your breath, everywhere your breath touches, everywhere your breath creates expansion or release. And you feel yourself softening each time you exhale.
You should feel your shoulder blades just softening away from your midline. So your upper back is wider. You feel your back ribs open as you inhale. We'll take just 5 more breaths here. So if you're breathing slowly, 4 or 5 seconds in each direction, those 5 breaths will equate to about a minute more here in butterfly pose. When you're ready, you can bring yourself slowly out of the posture. So it's like you're restacking your spine as you come up. You might want to gather the legs in towards you and just give your legs a hug here. You wait for the sensations to subside. And then when you feel that you're ready, we're going to come over and onto our fronts. We're going to move the spine in the other direction. So we're coming into a Sphinx pose. You might feel that you want some padding underneath the front of your pelvis for this one. So bit of padding over onto belly. And just let yourself lengthen. You might rock a little bit side to side. And then you bring yourself up and onto your forearms when you feel ready. Now, see if you can lengthen. So to begin with, you reach back your legs, you lengthen. You draw your breastbone forward. You tuck the tail a little to lengthen your lower back, and you press your forearms to bring your breastbone forward. So it's a more yang version to begin with of Sphinx pose, just coming into it and creating some space. And we just find a comfortable, natural arch. So you make and create space first. And then we begin to soften. We let the belly relax. So this is where it starts to feel more yin than yang. You soften your belly, your legs, and your buttocks. And as your belly softens and you relax your glutes, your butt and your legs, the back will arch maybe a bit more deeply. So you might feel some pinching in your back. Now, if it feels strong, that pinching, if it bites, reach back through your legs again and maybe drop your Sphinx a little bit lower. So you find the right place for you, and then you really focus on this softening. You can close your eyes. You don't have to hold your head up. If you want to relax your neck more, you can. And we think about these 3 principles in yin practice. So we're just looking for an appropriate edge. So there are stimulating sensations, but without feeling that we're distracted by discomfort, without feeling that the sensations are overwhelming. And then we become still and we disengage from effort, so we start to soften. With each exhale, we soften more. With each exhale, we rinse away a little more of our holding and tension and gripping. We allow our muscles to relax so that we can access deeper held tensions. Tensions that are maybe in the connective tissues of the body. And we have to be really willing to surrender to that experience of softening, of reaching deeper into the body. And then we need to stay here for a while with patience. We take again that little retreat inside, a mini meditation. And you send your breath to the sensations and you create space around them. Try and bring your breath towards your crown as you inhale. Feel the sensation move from your tail towards the crown of your head. And then back down from your crown towards your tail. And notice if there's anywhere along that path where you feel that the breath is stuck or limited, and see if you can make space around that limitation. And we'll take just 5 more here. You can, for the last breath or two, raise your sphinx a bit. You can bring yourself more towards a seal pose if you wish, so this is stronger. Be really mindful if you're choosing to do this, and make sure that you're not forcing your back, you're not blocking or restricting the flow of energy. You continue to breathe. When you feel that it's enough, you can slowly down. You maybe turn your head off to one side and you take a breath or two into your back here. And you feel with that first big inhale that you direct it into the back of your waist. And you release any pressure there. And turn your head the other way, take another breath. When you're ready, you move from here into a child's pose. So it's a really slow and sensitive journey into child's pose. And we'll notice that the longer we maintain a back bend, the more slowly we will feel that we want to transition into the next flexion. So it's a really tentative transition. You let your back open, your forehead rest down. Make sure in your child's pose that you position your head in a way that allows the energy to flow through your back and your neck and around the base of your skull. So if you have your chin, let me show you this, too far forward here, you'll be pooling energy, it'll be getting stuck here around the base of your skull. You want smooth lines. So you come maybe more onto the hairline, you tuck your chin in. And the same with your shoulders. You don't want your shoulders up high, you want smooth lines. Smooth lines of energy across your upper back and your shoulders and through the back of your neck. And we'll take 5 more here. Long, slow breath. And we should feel that we soften a bit more each time we exhale. Heavier with each exhale. When you feel that you're ready, you bring yourself up slowly. And we're coming into a dragon pose, so a lunge pose. We're going to step forward. I'm going to come forward with my right foot first so that you can see more clearly. So right foot is coming forward. You might want some padding underneath your back knee, your left knee. And if you feel that it's difficult for you here to have your fingertips on the floor, your hands on the floor, you can bring a block to either side of your front foot. You might lift the back leg and then slowly settle again. And we're going to let the weight of the torso rest onto the front thigh. And then we'll try and let the head drop down and hang. And you might want to do that 2 or 3 times. You may lift your head and let your head lower slowly again. And really try and feel the weight of your head and feel the way as you drop your head here, it changes the sensations that are maybe running through your back, but also the sensations that are moving through the front of your left hip and thigh. So maybe you feel some sensation in your hip flexors as you release your head down. Maybe the weight of the head draws the pelvis a tiny bit further forward. Remember, you're not pushing or pulling. This is about surrender. It's about yielding. Let the head go. You can uncurl your back toes if that's more comfortable for you. We'll take 5 breaths here. Try and soften with each exhale. Again, you don't want to be pushing your shoulders up. You want the energy to flow, just to fall away across your shoulders and your upper back. Any tension just drains away through your arms. Good. Now, this part is optional. If it's enough here, maybe stay for another few breaths, or you can take yourself out of it and back to child's pose. If you feel okay to be here for a few moments longer, heel toe your right foot out a bit wider. Bring your right hand inside your right foot and maybe turn your toes out a few degrees. So you add a bit of opening through your inner leg line. And then again, you just rest into it. If you need blocks here underneath your hands, you can. Or if you're very comfortable in the pose, you can drop down a bit deeper and onto your forearms. So you remember that you don't want the sensations to be so strong that you can't wait to get out of the posture. You don't want to feel overwhelmed by the sensations that you're feeling. We want to be able to soften and to stay for another breath or two. When you're ready, you can bring yourself very slowly out of the posture. You maybe rock your hips from side to side. And when you're ready, you come into the same posture on the other side. So this time you're bringing your left foot forward. And we just start to soften down into the posture. Remember, you might want to lift and lower the back knee as you find the right place for you. You might want blocks underneath your hands. We're resting the weight of the upper body on the thigh, and we're starting to think about releasing the weight of the head. And we know that it might take us a few times of lifting and lowering the head before we feel that we're entirely releasing the head. So you feel the effects of releasing the weight of the head in the posterior side of your spine, in your hip flexors, in the back of your neck, around the base of your skull. You feel as you breathe that you can move the energy without any obstruction or blocking from your tail towards your crown as you inhale. And then softening, moving the breath, the energy from your crown towards your tail as you exhale. And try and let your inhalations move energy and space and sensation all the way down into your pelvis and hips. And we're ready. As we did on the other side. So maybe you stay where you are, maybe you come out of the pose if it feels like enough, or you maybe heel toe out a little wider, turn the toes out. So you just start to open the inner leg line, the inner thigh. You feel the emphasis of the stretch in a slightly different place. So again, support on your hands, use blocks if you need to, or you can drop down into that deeper version and onto your forearms. So we're not pushing or pulling, we're not striving, forcing, we're not wishing we were somewhere else. So you make sure that you've found that appropriate edge. One more breath. When you're ready, you bring yourself slowly down. You might rock your hips from side to side. Take them around in a circle if it feels good, and just notice how you feel around your hips and into your pelvis. You might like to sit with those sensations for a moment or two before you do anything else. Lots of energy around your hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to come over and onto our backs. So bring yourself into semi-supine. If you want to keep some padding underneath the back of your head, that would be fine. And then from here, semi-supine. Good, so still we feel this pulse of energy around the hips. I'm going to take a twist here. So in your twisted postures, there are lots of stimulating sensations all around your spine, which is great for these energy channels that we're working on today. I'm going to twist to the right first, again, just because it will be easier for you to see. So I'm moving my hips over to the left and bringing my knees over and to the right. Your left arm can be wherever it's comfortable. So if you have any issue with your shoulder, you might want to keep your left hand just resting on your left side ribs. If there's no issue around your shoulder, you can maybe take your arm up higher or out to the side. So again, you're looking for that appropriate edge where you have sensation, but it's not pinching. You feel that you can still flow the energy through your shoulder and your chest. If you need support under your legs, you can take a cushion or a block and tuck underneath your right thigh. You might rock your head from side to side, and as you settle, you can close your eyes. Again, imagine that you're moving breath and energy from your tail towards your crown. As
So you inhale and from your crown, spiraling downwards and towards your tail as you exhale. Now, if this is okay for you, you can take it deeper by binding your legs. Now, this will be, in this case, your left leg coming around, so in front of and around your right leg. You don't have to wrap your foot all the way around, so wherever you're comfortable. And if you find that this actually it's a bit too much, you can put your block or your cushion underneath your legs here. It may be that you just need a bit of support for the first few breaths. You might find you can take it away later on. You might find that you just want to keep it there so that the posture really draws you in, the posture really allows you to soften those muscles and access those deeper held tensions. So you find your breath, you lengthen your inhale. And you lengthen your exhale. We'll take one more minute here, so it's about 5 breaths. A long inhale. And a long exhale. While you're here, you can check for any tension around your eyes, your jaw. When you feel that you're ready, you can unwind. So you slowly release your legs. Bring yourself slowly back to center. Bring your left arm down and you'll feel energy around your left shoulder and through certainly your left side, the side that you've been opening. And then in your own time you can do the other side. So you might move your hips over to the right. Bring your legs over to the left. You start with basic twist and find the right place for your arms. So remember again, your options are here. If you have an issue with your shoulder, you might just want to rest your hand on your side ribs. Lower if your shoulder is tight. Higher if you have the space to take your arm higher. You want your shoulder blade to be relaxing down. This whole side, you feel this diagonal stretch, this diagonal line of energy and opening all the way through your right side. And you take a few breaths here. You might rock your head from side to side. Find a comfortable place for your neck.
you come into your bind if it feels okay for you. So that's taking your right leg all the way around your left leg. Wrapping the toes is optional, so make sure you're not creating too much stress. And you can use a cushion or a block underneath your legs to make the posture more comfortable, more inviting. So you find the right place for you. It might not be right for you to bind your legs, so really give yourself a break if it feels too much, and just take the easier version. And then we start to center around our breath again. You'll feel some restriction in a twist, you know, some tight spots maybe. So you can think about breathing space around those tight spots. You maybe feel some sensation in your chest and shoulder as you inhale, as you breathe space. Some softening as you exhale. And we'll just take those last 5 breaths here again. So really try and stay with your breath for this last minute in your twist. Feel every place your breath touches. And maybe more importantly, feel the places where the breath can't quite get to, can't quite reach, and see if you can open into those spaces. Relaxing your neck and your jaw and around your eyes. Good. When you're ready, you can unwind your legs. You bring yourself back to the center. So adjust your hips. And maybe here, bring your knees in towards you for a moment. So you just hug in. And you balance out your 2 sides. Good. We're going to bring ourselves into a stirrup pose here. So you're keeping your thighs in close towards you, your knees close in towards your chest, but you're taking the soles of your feet to look towards the ceiling. You try and drop your knees in as if your knees are moving towards your armpits. If it's too much for you to hold the outer edges of your feet as I'm doing, you can drape your arms maybe around the backs of your knees. If it's way too much, choose like a wide Apanasana instead. Try and let your shoulders drop all the way down. Don't reach for your feet if it means you're bunching your shoulders and maybe compressing your neck. So you need to keep that length and space in the back of your neck. Your shoulders down, your upper back nice and wide. And then we breathe here. You try and feel that you soften each time you exhale. Then you can maybe let your knees fall a little wide of your ribs. And if it will really feel okay for you, you could switch your hands to the inner heel and let the toes turn out a few degrees. So again, you bring more emphasis into your inner leg lines. And you just take a last 5 breaths here. Good. You release from here slowly. Ooh. Again, sensations can be quite strong as you come out of the posture. And you release your feet to the floor when you're ready. You might like to windscreen wiper your legs here for a moment or two. And you just feel, again, the way the energy is moving around your hips, maybe through your inner leg lines. You feel the residue, the afterglow of that posture. Good. In your own time, you can bring yourself slowly up to sitting. And we're just going to take a moment or two for some pranayama before we take our relaxation. So bring yourself into, again, what for you is a comfortable seat. So you can be kneeling with support, you can be in Sukhasana, just simple Sukhasana is fine. You can be in Tadasana. So however you're more comfortable. You can cover your legs if you're feeling cool. Just do that. Or a blanket around your shoulders. And we're just going to do here some alternate nostril breathing. So it's your right hand that you'll use. You cover your right nostril with your thumb, your left with your ring finger, just softly. You don't have to put too much pressure on here. So for now, just bring your right hand over your heart and we'll regulate our breath for a moment or two. So just a long, slow inhale. And a long, slow exhale. And again.
again, inhale. And exhale. So you're inhaling from the tail towards the crown. And exhaling from the crown down towards your tail. Now, if you're new to this and you want to stay just with elongated inhale and exhale, this is fine. If you want to come with me, you're covering your right nostril with your thumb and inhaling slowly through your left. Now covering your left and exhaling slowly through your right. Inhaling through your right. And then covering your right and exhaling through your left. And this is one round. So again, in through the left. Covering left out through the right. In right. Out left. In left. Out right. In right. And out left. In left. Out right. In right. And out left. Do one more round, so in left. Out right. In right. And out left. Perfect. You can relax your right hand down into your lap or onto your thigh and just take one or two breaths here and notice how you feel. Okay, when you're ready, you can take yourself down to lay on your back for a few moments. You might want some padding underneath your head. You might want some cushions underneath the backs of your legs, especially if your lower back is a bit sensitive. So let's have a look at this. Let's get this just right. So if you want some support under your legs, right up under your thighs, nice and high and under your thighs. If you're using some padding underneath your head, make sure that it's not so much that it's pushing your neck out of alignment. What you can do is wrap the ends of your blanket in a little bit and tuck in underneath the back of your neck, so you really feel that your head is supported and held, but make sure it feels nice and even. So you tuck those ends in, tuck in underneath the back of your neck, so you sort of fill the spaces, make like a little cradle for your head, so your head feels really held. And then if you want to cover yourselves over with a blanket, you can do that as well. So take your time, get it just right so you feel really nurtured and held. And we'll just take a few breaths here. So the effects of the practices that we're doing are accumulative. We should be feeling ever more spacious and grounded, relaxed, as gradually our nervous system moves more towards our relaxation responses. Notice how your breathing is, if it's spacious and smooth. If you can just allow your awareness to ride on your breath. If you can really rest into your kindness and your compassion here. Now, I'd love for you to stay for longer, so feel free just to stay here for as long as you'd like to. If you feel that you're ready, you can take a deep breath, a breath that just opens up your inner space. You can, when you're ready, stretch your arms, your legs. You might flex your feet, open and close your hands. Notice how your body feels. In your own time, you might want to turn over and onto one side. Maybe give yourself a moment or two there. And then when you feel that you're really ready, you can bring yourself very, very slowly back up to sit. So again, we just take a moment to notice how we feel. And bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a bow forward. Thank the body for the practice. Slowly up. Namaste. I'll see you soon. Thank you.